Hi everyone, this is Susan from Susie's Book Basket, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite books from Usborne Books and More. Usborne Illustrated Norse Myths, and this is from our illustrated storybook series. It has a nice deluxe padded cover. You can see it's a pretty thick book. Nice end pages. Here's a look at the table of contents. So this book is full of abridged versions of Norse myths. There's a nice map at the beginning. And then there's kind of a guide to the different characters and the different realms. Now, while these are abridged, it's not at all dumbed down or anything like that. These are wonderful stories that your child who is maybe about 9 or 10 or older can read on their own, or you can read it to your younger children as a read aloud. Just to give you an idea of how many words are on a page. The words are fairly large, you know, not teeny tiny, so not overwhelming to a child who's not, you know, reading 100 miles an hour already, but not so simple that your 10 or 11-year-old is going to feel like they're being talked down to. Okay, so let's move on to the next book. This is a wonderful activity book about art. It has lots of varied activities in it. You can see here, and you learn a little bit about a painting by Rousseau, and then it has you completing this picture. Here's an activity on perspective. Here's a look at a painting up close, and then you look at, can you find these parts of the painting? Lots of drawing activities, make your own landscape gallery. Warm and cold colors. There's modern art also. Cubism. There are also stickers in this book and activities for using the stickers. Our next book is See Inside Great Cities. This is one of our Lift the Flap books, and these are great for interactive learning. Kids learn things so much better when they actually have something to do with their hands. So these are the cities that are in this book: Sydney, London, New York, Venice, Shanghai, Istanbul, Paris, and then more great cities. So there are over 70 flaps in this book, and each of them adds more interesting information about the city. Let's take a look at Istanbul. can see the inside of the Hagia Sophia. My kids love just looking at this book and seeing it. Some of the flaps are a little bit challenging to find. I mean, they're easy to miss because there are so many of them. In fact, there's one that they missed. And here's Paris. You learn about the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe and the Paris Opera. And here's the Paris Opera House, the inside. So lots of great stuff here. Next up, we're going to look at Fizz and the Police Dog Tryouts. This is the first book in a series, and the reason I picked this book is because my 8-year-old loves this book. And my 8-year-old, she's a strong reader, but she's a very reluctant reader. She gets very frustrated when there are tons of words on a page. But after reading this book, she greatly built her confidence in reading. And you can see the pages have pictures and lots of pictures built into the actual story. It's a very fun book. And after reading this, she was just dying to read some other books. So our next book is 365 Science Activities. Now we homeschool, and this book is a great addition for our homeschool because there are so many different activities in here that we can add to our science programs. So I would recommend it primarily for the elementary ages, although some of the things would probably be appropriate for middle schoolers too. Balancing mobiles, flying kites, sound experiments. So it has this great spiral binding, but a hard cover, which will make it durable. Lays flat, so it's easy to read the instructions while you're doing the experiments. And you can see, here's something that might be appropriate for an older child. So, fruit DNA, human DNA. My kids never get tired of doing activities like building things out of marshmallows and toothpicks. So, lots of cool stuff in here. Our next book is the Usborne Complete Book of Art Ideas. Also has a spiral binding, hardcover, extensive table of contents. You can see things are divided by ideas, art skills, and projects. So let's just flip through and see a few things. Finger painted flowers, printed birds using potatoes, tissue paper flowers, Crayon Resist, pastels, paint and tissue paper. You can see that many of these activities you probably already have the necessary supplies on hand. Oh, look at this. Glue pictures. See that? Creating texture using glue. And lastly, but not least, we have Puzzle Mountain. This is actually part of a set that comes with a Puzzle Train and Puzzle Farm, I think. And the 3 books together sell for $10. So this is an interactive book where your child will have to look for particular objects in the pictures and look for particular people and solve some problems. My 8-year-old loves this book. My 11-year-old loves this book too. So, the 3 book set would make a great gift. And that's it for my favorite books. I hope you enjoyed them.